I realize the title of this video makes it seem like I never went outside as a kid. Au contraire, I went outside plenty. But while looking up information on yesterday's video, I came across a whole mess of lists of best shows on television for kids in the 90s, best Nickelodeon's 90s shows. Some of them I agreed with, some of them I didn't agree with. So I figured, I'm just gonna make my own list. Rugrats. The imagination of the writers of the show and the babies in the show was incredible. There are lots of themes that young kids wouldn't understand until they're older, and there are tons of references to Doctor Who. Hey Arnold, filled with funny, interesting storylines, Arnold himself is easily one of the most likable cartoon characters of all time. Invader Zim. As much as I love this show, I can understand why it's not entirely suitable for children. Bologna-flavored skin, an alien that just despises Earthlings, and then in one episode there was a gigantic hamster that just went and ravaged an entire town. At one point, I think he ate a bus full of people, but no big deal. Plus, everybody loves Gurr. All that. It was sketch comedy for kids. The entire cast was incredibly talented, and it was easily one of the best kids shows of all time. Kenan and Kel. Kel Mitchell and Kenan Thompson went off to do their own little show while still doing all that, but they wanted to do like an Abbott and Costello type thing, and they were great foils of each other. They were hilarious. And they asked the hard questions, like, who loves orange soda? Are you afraid of the dark? Were you a member of the Midnight Society? I wanted to be, but I didn't really understand why all these kids' parents just let them run gallivanting in the woods at midnight. Or maybe they didn't know. Bad parenting. Not gonna lie, the intro still kinda makes the hair on my arms stand up. The Secret World of Alex Mack. Ah, Alex Mack. She was my second childhood crush. She had telekinesis, she could shoot electricity out of her fingers, she could morph into liquid and move around. She was my superhero before I got into comic books. Space cases. You saw my video yesterday. If not, what are you waiting for? Legends of the Hidden Temple. It had everything. Trivia, endurance, and I remember thinking, why is it so hard to put that stupid golden monkey together? It's 3 pieces. Bottom, middle, head. They always try to put the bottom, and then the head, and then why doesn't it work? Almost every single time. But it almost made it worth it while they were running through the maze, trying not to get caught by the temple guards, and then these 6-foot savage men just jumped out and caught them, just traumatizing these kids. Ah, good times. Doug. I recently just rewatched that one episode with the comic books where he buys that #1 issue out of the back of the trunk of that guy's car. It still lived up to my nostalgic memories. And finally, Pete and Pete. If you ever wonder why 20-somethings have such weird senses of humor, it's probably because we watch shows like this. The show's writing, while meant for kids, is sometimes deep and philosophical and makes you think, and it's really strange and it's amazing and awesome and all at the same time. There are some people that hate this show, and I just don't know how they are people if they hate Pete and Pete. And with the teacher with the veins on her leg, and when they put in the new highway, all of a sudden there was a new vein on her leg because it was like a road map. You remember that? Mom's metal plate, and Artie, the strongest man in the world! And it's just like, there's so many, Petunia, and it's just, I need to go watch Pete and Pete now. You did this to me. YouTube, you are making me all nostalgic now. I have to go watch Pete and Pete. Alright, you'll see me tomorrow. Bye! Kenan and Kel. Kenan and Kel. Kenan Thompson and... Kenan and Kel. Kenan and Kel.